Hello, hello. Everybody, welcome to the Detroit Cast with Mike and Jay. Shalom, Biggie. Hello, Jay.
Gentlemen.
How are you, my friend?
Quite well, thank you.
Yes, everyone have a good holiday.
That was great.
Enjoy your day off.
Lots of family.
Oh,
Big family day.
Boy, oh boy, I caught a little something there.
Oh.
You know, and I have a feeling you're not the only one that is like, oh yeah, great. Lots of family.
Lots of family. Both families.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, we
You want to
did.
go detail minute by minute, and we'll just run through your day?
Well, there were a couple of events.
Oh no.
Let's just put it this way. Paul fell. Yeah.
Oh no.
Paul. Yeah.
Poor Paul.
My near 90-year-old father-in-law, he fell.
Were you most concerned about his possible extensive injuries, or were you more thinking about, oh no, our paper products and meat products?
Well, no, we were clear of the paper products. We already had those. He came
Okay.
over the day earlier and was good enough to bring eggs to dye. So the kids dyed eggs.
Oh, okay, yeah, sure.
And
I was thinking DIE, and I was like, why would he come over and murder eggs in the
No,
house?
so he brought the paper products in. We're
Sure.
hooked up. We're good to go. Next day, we all meet for brunch. Whole family, Gab's side.
The smug meal.
Dude,
brunch.
so good, though. It's
Yeah.
the best. I didn't eat
Yeah.
all day. I ate brunch, and I wasn't hungry all day long.
Wow.
4 plates will do that, gentlemen.
Yeah.
But we get to leave, and you're doing the obligatory, okay, kids, why don't you get together, take a picture? Then grandparents get in there with them. And it's like, I think there were 15 of us there, and 14 of us noticed the situation. Like, there's a curb right there. And we're like, Paul, be careful. There's a curb right behind you. You know, Cameron, grab his arm. Cameron's my nephew.
Sure.
Okay, he's got him. You know, they take the picture. We're then going to step off the curb and go across the street.
Sounds absolute textbook,
Right.
how this is done.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, you'd step down the curb, you'd walk
Sure.
across the street, you'd get in your car, you go home. Not if you're approaching 90.
Yeah, did he do the miss a step and like,
Dude, we even warned him. We said, now, careful, you know, curb's right there. Just be careful stepping down. Cameron was even like, Grandpa, take my arm. No, they say pride comes before the fall. It was pride. It was honestly
Of
pride. He's
course.
like, no. And he sort of like, and he did a little extra like skip. Like, I'll show them. And he like skipped off the curb.
Yeah.
Dude, he went into this. He went 90-degree lean at the waist. And then he went into
Whoa.
a slow motion like forward fall.
yeah.
It went so long, I had time to go, Russ, get him! Russ was 10 feet ahead. He had time to turn and like make a motion toward
Get out of
Grandpa.
here.
Yeah.
He didn't save the day,
He
obviously.
didn't. He was unable. And in fact, he told me later, he's like, Dad, I don't even know if I would have been there, if I would have even tried. He was like a bull coming at me.
Yeah, and Paul's a big boy, too.
He is. He's a big
not
fella.
fat, but he's a big dude.
Substantial and leaned over the way he was. You know, I can only imagine. So
I'm picturing the Michael Jackson video when they do that lean. That's kind of what I'm seeing
he's
in my
bent
head.
at the waist like this. So he's just, and then falling forward slowly,
Now,
like in multiple steps.
How old is Cameron?
14.
See, that would be... Child, get off
Right.
me. I don't need
I
your
know.
fucking help.
I know.
I've been on this planet 90 years,
Yeah.
dickhead. Get off me.
Total pride. He's like,
Yeah.
come on. You know, he's the patriarch. You know, he wants to be the
Yeah.
guy in that moment. And unfortunately, man, he should have listened to it. Like, we all saw it. We saw the danger. There was so anyway, he falls, and thankfully, he didn't try to put his wrist down. He sort of like fell in
He'd have
so
broken
many
both.
steps. Absolutely. Fell
And
in so many
elbows.
steps that he went shoulder. And
Tucked and rolled.
he did tuck and roll a little bit, but the good thing also was that his doggy bag, yes, he took a doggy bag from a fucking buffet.
Yeah.
His doggy bag broke his fall. He fell right on it, his ass right in his doggy bag.
Really?
So that kind of helped buffer.
Boy, this sounds so similar to my grandpa carrying my grandma's urn
Oh, yeah.
and tripped over the curb.
Dude, and then you spent the rest of the drive laughing with your
Laughing.
mom about
Well,
it, right?
we knew it was divine intervention. There's no, to this day, we have no idea if God didn't go, whoa, hold on, old man. That'll
Yeah.
kill you for sure if you drop grandma and she splatters all over the cement. That will end you. It's not your time yet. Somebody held him up
Yeah.
because there's no chance
Gravity
on
was
earth
pulling.
at his age, tripping over a curb like that was not going to just end in disaster.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So Paul hit it, tucked and rolled a little bit. We were able to get him back on his feet, and
Sure.
everything seemed okay. But again, I think he was so prideful. Just, I'm fine.
Yeah.
But I bet he's hurting today, man.
Oh, yeah. Well, of course he is.
Poor old
but,
guy.
I mean, in his defense, think about how patronizing that would be. If you've got the rest of the family going, oh, Jay,
right.
here we go.
Yeah,
Whoop,
careful.
whoop,
Step. There's a
whoop,
curb
whoop,
right
whoop.
there.
I know you've
I
been doing this forever,
I know.
but, since you were about 1.5 years old, but let's have the children carrying Gramps.
No, I get it.
No,
and then of
fuck
course,
that.
he's embarrassed after. I felt bad for him, but I'm
Yeah.
glad he's okay.
Well, he's had more good days than bad, so we'll forgive him
kidding.
there. Yeah, Paul's a good dude. He's a good, solid man. Really is. Kind of looks like Jerry Tarkanian.
Very much so.
Have you ever put a towel in his
Without the
mouth?
towel in his mouth, he looks like Jerry Tarkanian.
Can you get one picture? Go, hey, would you put this in your mouth really quick? Just see what he looks like. See if he comes off more Tark than anything. You know, the shark.
will.
Yeah.
He's straight up Armenian, man.
Was that the only incident? Because I'm always fascinated by people like you, Jay, that have family that's all around town. Because I never had family around, so it's very rare that I spent time with like the perverted uncle or the drunk aunt.
Yeah.
I just didn't have them around, so I'm always like, oh yeah, meeting with like 4 families at once. How weird is that?
Yeah, I'm trying to think. It definitely brings some drama into it. 'Cause
Yeah.
you're just, you know,
Fucking people, just people.
yeah, a
it's
lot
humans.
of times you're just trying to get through it, right? But it depends on the mix of people. Everything went pretty well yesterday. We headed over to my brother's after that and saw my side of the family.
Sure.
And Chat, dude, speaking of falling, my man fell in the ice in February. He's got a busted up wrist. He's got a plate in his hand and all this shit. He had to learn how to wipe his ass with his left hand.
Get outta
Hell
here.
yes. Think about that, gentlemen.
Dude, that would be brutal. I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
I
Said
might.
it took a period of days before he was effectively wiping his ass
Did
with
he
his
get
left
help?
hand.
Did he have his wife like?
Yes.
Fuck, that's awesome. Excellent.
That actually came up.
Yeah, of course it would. It's the first thing I thought
Just
of.
sitting over there like, yeah, I helped him.
Oh, dude.
That's love.
Till death do us part, gentlemen.
It's the first thing I think of when you see that guy with no arms or whatever, and it's like, that guy shits. Someone's
Yeah.
cleaning it up for him. Someone has to be helping him. He's, what's he gonna do?
No, but it also hit me, man, in that moment. Like, I could never have been an MD. He showed me his wrist. He's got a big, like, 4-inch mark out of his
Yeah.
wrist and 4 inches out of his hand, and you can see, like, something's in there. Like, oh, God, I got the
No,
willies
no,
immediately.
no.
I'm
Yeah.
shivering,
There's
man.
no way I could deal with that.
No.
Situations like that. Forget it. I don't want to. You don't have to name names, but I imagine like this is all family, in some way, and we're forced to do this thing every year with Christmas or Thanksgiving, Easter. We get together with the family, take the picture, pretend like we all get along. If these people were not family, how many of them would you hang out
Right,
with on a
yeah.
regular? You know what I mean? Like, would
No,
you?
I've had that sort of feeling where I'm specifically with Gab's side of the family, and I'm sitting there, I'm like, how the fuck did I get here? I'm just me. I have like a whole different family.
Yeah.
How did I get embroiled in this group?
Yeah.
It's just really surreal sometimes.
It is, because I've had girlfriends in the past where it's like, there's not a chance I would fucking see any of these people ever.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for the fact that I have to be here with,
No, you tend to like aunts and uncles more, because you kind of see them from time to time, and some
Yeah.
of them are really down to earth.
unless they get you a ruler pen for Christmas one year.
Yeah,
And then,
that's
I mean,
true.
that's just, it's over. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
that's
You get a
scarring.
12-year-old it's not forgivable. I always do that whenever I have a new girlfriend or someone's like, yeah, you're going for Christmas. It's like, oh, fuck, please don't be just dopes and weirdos. I've gotten lucky on some occasion, I always liked Beth's family. They're fun, but I've had some where it's like, oh man, I never want to see these people again. How do I get out of this?
I think people don't even, honestly, I think people think that's a monstrous thing to say. I've never had those situations, but, and I'm good with my brother and sister, but sometimes do people act like, that's your brother. How could you not just love them? And it's like, dude,
All right.
it's
Yeah.
just a person that popped out of your mom. I get along with my sister more than my brother. It's just the fact. So just because he's my brother
Yeah.
doesn't mean it's a person that I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
I
Like,
definitely see your point.
like-
Well, isn't that the old saying? Like, you choose your friends, you don't choose your family.
Right,
So
no.
it's like you are raised to like, and I think if I had to take a bullet for someone, I would take a bullet for my brother, sister, mom, dad before most, right? I don't think I'd save.
Look, we've already had this talk before about me, but my point is, but when you say that you choose your friends, that's the point though. I have people in my life that Chubbs is in my life because we are friends and we both like want the friendship.
Yeah.
If I didn't want it, I would just be
Yeah.
like, this guy's a fucking asshole. There's a lot of people I walk by in the day that I'm not friends with. Like,
Yeah. If his name was Pete, it wouldn't be nearly as funny. We
Chubbs
both
is
chuckle
just-
every time he
I
says
know.
Chubbs or
Chubbs in
TCG.
my life.
Yeah, I picked Chubbs. He's my guy.
Well, E,
Yeah.
do you realize you in your position are like, you're the brother that Mongoloid Aaron Rodgers, like, what do you think his reaction is when he comes over to the Fades?
he likes me, man.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Do you think if
my
he's bringing?
sister said that he sees me almost as another brother.
Oh, nice.
Wow, that's awesome. Do you think, though, even though that's true, and I believe that,
Yeah.
I believe that, do you think if he's bringing his family, like, for the wedding or there's a warning that
Yeah,
goes
yeah.
Oh,
on?
I'm sure.
Yeah.
But you know what, though?
I think that's fair. I don't
met
think
his
that's a
m-
problem.
His mom, I met his mom and dad, though. One time they picked us up from Vegas.
Did they speak loudly and slowly?
I don't remember.
Hi, Eric. Nice to meet you.
People, you know what? A lot of people I think people tend to dislike me more as they meet me. I think usually initially,
I would agree with that.
There's a factor of like, oh, this guy's a funny dude. Tell a few funny
Yeah, so you
anecdotes,
wear-
or
then you wear 'em
Yes,
down,
and then I
yeah.
wear them thin. Some people, the first impression is that's the worst part. You have to get in. Oh, after a while, I started to like him. I think I'm more of a person who at first is like, that's kind of a funny guy.
Yeah, you have an amazing ability to just yammer on without even a pause. And there are times when it's like, Eric, you've been talking for 3 straight hours. Would
I
you
know.
please shut the fuck up? And I'll say it just like that to him. He's like, I know, I'm sorry. And then
I know. I had a
yeah.
moment like that. I had a few moments like that this weekend, to be honest with you.
Did you?
Yeah.
I don't hate him, but I just don't think he's that good.
Yeah.
Did you pull the video of you? Over
Sure.
the weekend. I
Oh,
mean,
boy.
did you? You probably didn't see this, Jay. This is on Facebook,
Oh boy.
and I was like, "Oh, Eric posted a new video."
It's one of my new. It shouldn't be one of my new favorite things to do, but it's become one of my new favorite things.
So what?
to do.
You're out of the immediate metro area, and so they get you a hotel room when you do
Yeah.
comedy. Is that what is going on here? Because
Yes.
you're definitely not at home.
Right.
You're on the road somewhere in a hotel room. It's rather late
You're
at
not
night.
upper decking it, are you?
No,
No,
he's
it's just-
struggling to take his shoes off.
Rather
so
intoxicated and tired.
I'm watching this going, please just hit stop, please, E.
Oh,
just
it's
stop.
not. It's.
I thought at one point he was going to pass out in midstream and like wake up 12 hours later still live.
I'm shocked that I didn't. To be honest with you.
Yeah.
Like. Oh my
He's
goodness.
breathing.
Are those the maroon pants?
Well, here's what
Yeah,
happened.
oh
too.
yeah, they're in the room.
Here's another thing.
Hold
that
on, E. Let him
okay.
watch it. Just make it bigger.
Trying here.
Oh my God, E.
You can't.
He finally has to set the phone down just to get his
So
shoes
you're trying
off.
to do the thing like one toe
right.
pulls the heel of the other.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, have you thought about reaching down there?
he's going to, but he can't do that while holding the phone. So,
Trying
Get
to do
those
this.
fucking shoes off. The fucking feet.
yeah,
Oh boy.
set the phone down. This ain't gonna work.
Oh no. So
What am I looking at right now?
That's him.
just
He's
might-
got the
Rich
phone. At
Rick
his,
wants to talk. Really, does he?
he's got the phone like at his waist, shooting down at his feet. You're between his legs right
Yeah.
now.
POV.
Yeah. So
Whoa.
that's he decides he cannot take the shoes off with one hand. So all right, here we go. Now we're good.
Shoes are off.
Yeah.
Oh my God. This is.
Turn that camera around, E. Let's get a good look at that face.
No, we don't need to do that. Even though
Oh yeah, we do.
Here, I'll.
Oh boy. Oh, E.
No reason for this last Budweiser.
None. The sips you're taking are so
They get
minuscule
pretty
too.
fucking drunk.
God. It's a good night though. Having said that.
Enjoy a beer or two. Not again.
Oh my God.
Come again, E. What was? You want to explain that?
Yeah.
And then, oh shit! I should say at the end of this video, by the way, because I know
Look at that sip.
no way you can watch this all because it's just I wouldn't. But at the end
What
of
are
this
you doing
video,
Are
here?
you
What are you-
drunk? Because I'm working.
He's got one
An
eye closed.
impression
He's
of
reading
both.
with one eye.
Oh, yeah.
trying to read. State
Yeah, no, you got
comment.
unlimited
Yeah,
two
I'm
of
pretty
those
drunk.
screens. Wow, man.
This is about the time I'm like, is he gonna pass out? He might pass out right now.
Yeah, I had a few beers.
How many do you think, Jesus?
Oh my God.
50.
Probably 12 to 15.
Wow.
So
Jesus.
15 to 18.
No, that's probably.
I'm
right
gonna
side.
go to the fucking Tigers game. Oh, I'm fucking hammered.
Oh my God.
How was my show tonight, Mike Ball? Mike Ball's a good guy, dude. I had a really good show tonight, honestly. A really good show.
Thank God. Otherwise, it wouldn't.
So he's, if you can't see it and you're just listening to us, he's Facebook living and people are making comments. So he's responding to their
I had a
comments.
really good show tonight. Oh, I'm so drunk.
So Mike Ball says, "How was your show, homie?" And he's like, "Mike Ball's a good guy. Yeah, he's a good guy."
Good guy. I can't.
My
Look at this.
head
I really.
wants to-
Come again?
Yeah, boy.
I was like, "Oh, he's done.
I know.
Look at that. Look at that."
Yeah, yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
you'd be thinking.
Don't you
for
think,
sure,
like, oh,
right?
yeah, he's out.
Yes.
I am
It's within
lucky.
Seconds.
I am lucky I had the wherewithal to still end this at one point. There was a good.
Michelle asked me if I'm gonna run around the neighborhood naked, drunk. No.
I'm doing a pretty
call,
decent
you-
job reading these things if you ask me.
Actually,
at
are
some
not bad.
level.
Have we seen them for the most part? it's kind of the same thing.
So that was Friday night.
That was Thursday. Oh, Friday night. That was Friday
Okay,
night.
yeah,
Yeah, because
No,
you were
but-
going to the Tiger game on Saturday, but it was rained out.
Yeah.
And then you went to the Pistons game.
But the reason I mentioned talking like that much, like, so I didn't mean to do Friday night. Friday night came out of nowhere. It was a last minute thing. So my original plan was I had gone down to Toledo to do, and originally I went down to Toledo to do comedy because we have listeners down there that have been begging me to go down there.
Yeah, the nickel.
Right. And so the Thursday is my Friday because of how we do the show. So I said, you know what? They told me they were going to buy me a few beers. I said, if you're going to buy me a few beers, Thursday's my Friday. Fuck it. I'm going to get a little hotel. I'm going to get a hotel room. Well, then they get sick and they can't go. So now I'm like in Toledo by myself. I'm like on a Thursday. I'm like, I got a hotel room, but I'm by myself. And luckily a listener, the dude that did our floor over here, actually that ground that floor
Nick?
shit down. Yeah, Nick. Luckily
Good
he
dude.
came out. But like,
Yeah.
so my point is, when you talk about babbling on, dude, he got a full Eric Fady. I think he was there. I think he got there about 9:30, and I think we were there till almost 1. And I
Oh,
pretty much it was just
shit.
me yelling at
God
him.
bless you.
Did he have his wife with him?
No, but
thank God.
his wife said she wanted to go though.
Yeah.
She was jealous. I had to FaceTime his wife.
Yeah, we called her when Jerry was here, and she had a blast talking to Jerry. Jerry went way over the line with her.
Oh, really?
Oh, it was
Yeah.
very inappropriate, but she loved every
Sure.
second of it. Yeah, it was great. It was great. So they got sick. So you weren't even doing comedy then?
No, I did do comedy, but it was just like, dude, that was one of those things. It was just an open mic. I was just doing it because these listeners, I mean, they literally had been begging me for like 6 months. So I just did it. I'm like, it's just an open mic. I really should not get a hotel room for an
Yeah.
open mic. But I thought, they want to buy me a few beers. I'll stay.
Yeah,
But
whatever.
it ended up being like an empty open mic. There was like nobody there. And
Yeah.
I'm sitting there. I'm like, what? Even I almost considered driving home. I'm like, should I just drive home? And even though I got the room, I'll
Glad you
stay.
didn't.
But the listener showed up and he's like, I'll buy you a few beers. I'm like, fuck it.
So you ended up going to the Tiger game the next day, and that was
Well,
it was rained out. But
That
you were-
rained out.
But then you went to the Pistons playoff game.
Yeah.
Which was game 3.
And by the way, that's another story. So I had a listener from the charity that said he had owed me a lunch. You know, he was going to pay for my lunch. So I said, you could come out to the Tiger game with me and Chubbs. And the Tigers game gets canceled.
There we go again. Chubbs.
Of course.
Gets canceled. So I asked the guy, I'm like, well, what do you want to do, man? So we end up going to Greektown, and then we go to the casino and gamble with this listener. I probably yelled at this listener for about 4 hours that day on Saturday.
Yeah.
Just drunk. Not that drunk, because I'd drinking 2 nights in a row, and I actually kind of just couldn't even get drunk
So you
anymore.
went to the Pistons game. Then get to the point.
Oh,
You went to
that
you
was-
ended up going to the Pistons
I thought
game.
the main point was I was yelling at these listeners for 2 hours.
Why would you yell at listeners?
Never mind. You were telling me about how I talk, and I just
Oh
bring
yeah,
up two
yeah,
funny
yeah.
points.
No,
about-
I wanted to ask about the Pistons game because that was the first playoff
Oh, it was
home game
incredible.
in years. It looked like a really good crowd out there.
I didn't
was
know
just
what to
wondering though if the
expect, yeah.
stadium that is so red winged out, how that looks for a Pistons playoff game.
I think it looks probably in regular season games when they have a hard time even getting half of the attendance there. It probably just feels like a very maybe a Wings stadium or maybe just an empty stadium. But honestly, my feeling was once you had the atmosphere and it was, I don't know if it was sold out, but it was
It looked
very,
good on camera,
very
man.
fucking close if it wasn't.
Yeah, it
And
looked good. I don't know if you saw any of it, Jay.
I watched
but
about half of it. It
They
looked
were
like
in.
people wanted to go, you know?
Oh,
you
yeah.
wanted them to win, man.
Yeah.
Even
is that were they up by one in
No,
that?
no.
Was that game 2 that they were like up by 1 or something at the half?
Oh,
or-
well, I mean, they were up at
They were
times
right
in
there,
game
yeah,
3.
yeah.
I mean,
But then it fell apart with in the 4th. That's kind of where it got away from them. But
in the 3rd, but whatever. But yeah, no,
Yeah.
if you ask whether I felt like that night it felt like a Piston game because it was packed and people were wearing their Piston stuff. So once you had the atmosphere, the people and they had all the blue shirts. You know, I forgot. I thought I had it on for a second. They had all the blue shirts that said like playoffs start here and. It was incredible. It just made me realize that if one of these two teams starts
City's
to win,
dying for it, huh?
it
Hell
was
yeah.
when we were at the casino before that game. The casino was packed, and it was packed with people wearing Tigers and Pistons
Sure.
shit, and everybody was ready to go, man. So
Yeah.
if this comes to if one of these teams picks it up, it'll be fun down there.
yeah, well, we know we've seen that before.
But
Tigers
now-
getting hot, Pistons getting hot. We've seen what it's like in
Yeah,
this
but
town.
the Pistons, when this is the downtown atmosphere to me, though. The Pistons back in the day, you go to the Palace and you pay your $20 and then you're out of there. But you had the aspect of going to the casino beforehand and
Yeah, I got you. My Easter was much less fun than your guys. T-Roy was sick as a dog. All
Oh,
night.
no.
That dude slept. I'm not even kidding you. I think he woke up at 5 in the evening and then came down, made a bowl of soup, ate 2 bites of it, and then went and crashed on the couch till 9 o'clock at
Did you
night.
put
And then
cold washcloths?
No,
Cold compresses on his
I
forehead?
left a note and said, "This is to fix tea." And then I left him some stuff, some Dayquil and NyQuil and all kinds of stuff that you can make. And then Peanut was sick too.
Oh, no.
Peanut puked sleeping on my lap. Throat just went, ah. and puked on my lap, and we cleaned it up. And she's not here right now. I shipped her over to Beth's, but yeah, she would eat, and then she wouldn't want to go outside. She didn't want to play. She just wanted to sleep. So I don't know if Troy gave Peanut something or vice versa. I don't know what the deal was, but I ended up having a bowl of soup for Easter. No deviled eggs, no hams, no turkey,
No buffet.
nothing. Nope, nothing. I had a bowl of
You
soup.
know, I said before you left, I said you could have came over and had Easter
I
dinner.
said just bring me some leftovers today.
I
Did
forgot. What's the leftovers? You're
you? I wasn't going to
the
drive all the way to the manor to have fucking ham with you.
Could have met Aaron Rodgers.
I've met Amon Aaron Rodgers.
Okay.
By the way, did either of you guys go to church services?
Yeah.
You did. What? Are you insane?
I know. Even after the blast, I was like, I'm going anyway.
I was thinking, you know what? Who is the moron that would go to church on Easter or Christmas?
Crazy, isn't it?
They're moron. Like, dude, I get it. You know, you have your beliefs. It's great. I think God would understand. Like, dude, we just don't know. We don't know. People want to make the biggest showing of how destructive they can be. Do me a favor, Jay. As long as we're working together, no more Christmas Mass, no more New Year's Mass or Easter Mass. Go heavy early the week before, heavy the week after.
If
to
I'm
make
ever in
good.
Sri Lanka, I'm with you. But here in
doesn't-
America, no.
Aren't we due though? Aren't we due? And you don't want to be in that church when
Dude, like, yeah, but it'd be like,
comes blasting
not
through
going
the
to be in
fucking doors.
Michigan. I mean, you're talking like it'd be big places still.
Gotta
Though. They're
piss
still
in their
going
own backyard.
I was just gonna say that.
yeah.
Gonna shit in their own fucking house. I don't know, man. I mean, that because you think it wouldn't happen there. Maybe it's the perfect place. You know, Sri
guess.
Lanka. What's going on with Sri Lanka? I didn't even know they had extremist
man.
Muslims there. They don't have a history of that. But yeah, it was 290 people last I heard.
Yep, I heard
Killed,
the same.
bomb blast, and like hundreds of others. And this, yeah, I don't know, man. So 9 bombings, churches, luxury hotels.
Oh, was it 9? I thought it was 7 simultaneous, but 9, huh?
Yeah, there were
Wow.
2 more later in the day, hours later. Deadliest violence since Civil War ended a decade ago. So 290 and then 500 wounded. 2 government ministers have alluded to intelligence failures. You know, we're getting this like, oh, well, we heard something 10
Yes.
days ago. We're
Yeah.
like,
Somebody threw something on Twitter, but it was all in Sri Lankanese, so I couldn't read it.
yeah, I couldn't either.
Yeah, it's lots of curly cues and stuff. I tried to read it, but I couldn't.
Yeah, I couldn't either. I had no idea what it said, but I did see a translation. They apparently, this was on April 11th. Information is an alleged planned attack. That's all I needed to hear. Not going anywhere. I'm not leaving the house. If they want to come to my house and drop bombs, fine. I'll deal with that. So the guy that posted that, his dad had warned him of this possible attack. He said, "Don't enter any popular churches." The minister for national integration said officers within his ministry had been warned about the possibility of 2 suicide bombers, and they would target politicians as well.
But didn't they hit a buffet as well at some big hotel?
Yes, it was like a 5-star luxury hotel, and that's where because they said there were 27 like foreigners, and including some from the U.S.,
Right.
more than one, like British people, Italians, all kinds of stuff. And I think they were having breakfast. It was like 8:30 in the morning when one of them. But is that the one that blew like the roof out? You see those pictures?
I did. I'm not sure. What was what? I just saw a lot of destruction.
I think that was one of them. So yeah, the collapsed ceilings. Most of the bombings were believed to have been suicide attacks. Well, yeah, I would guess that all of them were, but I guess if they dropped the bomb and ran away, it wouldn't be a suicide attack. So collapsed ceilings, blew out windows, killing worshipers, hotel guests. In one scene after another, there's smoke, soot, blood, broken glass, screams, the alarms going off, dragging people out of, as they quote, say, blood-spattered pews. Boy, is there a worse sentence than,
I know.
you know,
It's crazy, man.
kindergarten class, blood-splattered
Right.
kindergarten class, maybe, but blood-splattered pews? Man.
Evil.
Yep. People didn't know what was going on. It was panic mode, blood everywhere. Most of those, dude, it's amazing how many people don't know, like, put 2 and 2 together about what's going on. Most people don't know what's going on.
Just disorients you, I suppose, right?
It's crazy. Like, I was watching, there's a documentary that one of the kids, a girl that was at Columbine, is like a documentary filmmaker. And she went, like, most kids from there, teachers, don't want to talk. They don't want to tell the stories. They believe it's disrespectful to the victims to be going on and almost glorifying or glamorizing the attack that went on at Columbine what was it, 20 years ago or 15, whatever it was. And so as the anniversary drew near, there was this documentary, and these kids, like, this kid's in a classroom and it's like, okay, go. The coast is clear. Get out that fucking door and run. They see blood everywhere, and they've all got their hands up. And he's running out, and the kid puts his hand down so he can run faster. Fucking AKs are just pulled on him immediately. Get your fucking hands up.
AKs.
Well, no, they were AR-15s, I think they had. And so he's got his hands up, and he's running out, and he stops the cop. He's like, so do we have to come back? Because I got like a test in 6th period. He's like not even putting together like the severity at all. He's worried about his class in 2 periods.
Wow.
And it's like, dude, unreal.
Yeah, what stress does to you, you know, and you can never, you know, a small example, Paul falling, right? You see this thing happening in slow motion, and you think you'd, like, if we talk about it, oh, this is how I would react.
Yeah.
But then when
don't know.
that thing happens, you sort of like freeze, and then you want to react, but you can't, or you, and all I could do was, Russ, get him.
I'm surprised you even got that, because I think I would go, oh.
Yeah.
Boom, and you're like, oh,
No,
shit.
I had time. Like I said, it was a very slow motion.
Yeah, but you've got good reaction time. Remember when we tossed you off the building, you had 2 seconds to say you love Gab, and
I love you, Gab. Oh, Lord God, Jesus, help me.
Jesus, help me. I love you, Gab. You know, you got it in.
Yeah.
You know, so it doesn't surprise me. So these people didn't know what was going on. Most killed were Sri Lankans, but the three bombed hotels and one of the churches, St. Anthony's Shrine, are frequented by tourists, a lot of them. So several Americans among the dead. The Archbishop of Colombo, that's the capital of where most of these bombings, like 7 of the 9 were in this capital city of Colombo. The cardinal there, Malcolm Ranjith, called on the government to mercilessly punish those responsible because only animals can behave like that. It's from the Archbishop, man. Yeah, he's pissed. He's not happy.
Eye for an eye.
Yep. They're about 70% Buddhist. Don't Buddhists get along with everybody? For
Yeah,
the most
really, they're
part?
chill, right?
Yeah. So scattered incidents of anti-Christian harassment have occurred, but nothing on the scale of this. There's no history of violent Muslim militants in Sri Lanka. However, tensions have been running high more recently between hardline Buddhist monks. Boy, that's a sentence I never thought I'd say.
I know.
Hardline Buddhist monks and Muslims. And so nearly six blasts at the same time. And a few hours later, a couple outside of Colombo, 3 officers were killed. They're trying to search a safe house. And the guys in there blew something up, like, you're not going to take us alive. And so that killed the 3 officers. There was one guy in there. Did you hear about the billionaire?
Yeah, with 3 daughters.
Yeah, lost. I didn't know what they hadn't identified. Have they identified them? I guess they have now. Last I knew, they had not identified the kids. He's got 4 kids. Well, he did. 3 of them were killed. They were on vacation in Sri Lanka, his family. Guy's worth like $7.5 billion. He's got an online clothing retailer, ASOS.
Never heard of it.
Me either. And he's worth $7.5 billion from it.
Other people have heard of it.
Yes, other people. A lot of other people have heard of it, apparently. So they said the identities and ages have not been released. It's also not immediately clear which blast killed them. His name is Anders Holch Pavelson, and $7.9 billion. He was on vacation, 46 years old. That son of a bitch. Where's that kind of
I know.
There with his family, his wife Anne. They had 4 children. If you're looking for a small silver lining in the story,
Oh, we are. We always are, right?
yeah, I mean, if we can see the world through half-filled glasses, we try to do so. The kid that did survive, I mean, it sucks to lose 3 of your siblings, absolutely, but
Boy, his take
I mean, dude,
just ramped up
bigly. I mean, when you talk about like an inheritance, I mean, who wouldn't want $2 billion? Sure, nice.
He just went from
billion?
25% to 100%.
Yeah, unless they have other kids, but it's like in one incident, bang, bang, bang. Oh, I just made fucking $6 billion more.
That kid is the subject of the investigation, as far as I'm concerned. Start with that kid.
Yeah. Do you think at any point, maybe not today or yesterday, but at some point a few months down the road when he's, done mourning, does he go, well, I mean, it could have been worse.
Yeah.
I mean, at some point, does he have to hit his head like,
right?
He's crying 1 minute, this is terrible, I've lost everybody, but
Well, like I described earlier, you don't always necessarily even. I mean, it doesn't mean he didn't like him, but you have people you don't like. People have brothers and sisters all the time that they end up having feuds with. So what if 2 of them are ones where he's like, I didn't really
fuck him.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really like him that much anyway.
And
Come on, that's bad, man.
Yeah.
But
Your siblings.
But see, to me, I get
I
it, yeah.
understand. Like you might not love hanging out
I
with them,
know.
but dude, they're your brothers and sisters. Like you're just gonna go, fuck them.
Yeah,
No,
but
I
$6
don't-
billion is $6 billion, dude.
I don't
Let's
really
be honest,
think
it's a
that
lot
they
of money.
say fuck it. But the reality is, honestly, if you were to do studies of people that have families, there are plenty of families out there that they have brothers or sisters that are just like, you know what? I don't even never liked him. He's always been an asshole.
Well, here's another point of good news in my mind.
Sure.
If you are vacationing in Sri Lanka, that means you have seen the entire world. You have vacationed a lot. So they led really, really good vacationing
for
lives.
sure.
Where is it? The
'Cause to
tip of
me-
the East India
To
or
me,
something?
dude, that's one of the last places, honestly.
Well,
And
what
I'm
are they
sure
famous
people
for?
Send me pictures and shit. Go, dude, look at this beautiful jungle
Yeah.
and shit. But come on, man.
What are they famous for? Is it like gorgeous beaches and ocean?
Probably, it's a fucking island off India, essentially.
Wouldn't you just keep going to the
In
Bahamas
the
or some
Bay of Bengal.
Caribbean?
That's my thing,
You know?
right?
Yeah, why risk
And
it?
I'm not saying you're going to limit yourself as an American. Oh, I'm just going to stay in
Yeah, it does look
the
pretty dope, dude.
Western Hemisphere. But, dude, yeah, it does.
What is that we're
It
looking
really
at? Is
does.
that? I mean, I wouldn't mind going there. That's it, though. I'm not going to church. I'll go there.
But you know what I mean? Like, I don't.
Jay,
there's
but
just-
I mean, come on, man. I mean, that is.
It's
worth risking my family's lives. I mean,
10.
No, I didn't
You're
even
a
know
fucking
what this
billionaire.
was. For all I knew, this was mountainous regions filled with snow. I have no idea what Sri Lanka's like. Go skiing in Sri Lanka this year.
I always thought it was just jungles and shit. But
Yeah. How awful is that, that to go to church, like this is just becoming commonplace where
dude,
you could
it's
just be in a
shocking as
mosque or a
fuck, right?
church.
You're,
and-
you're looking for that emotional response, right? And what better
Yeah.
place to do it than on this religious holiday and where people are
it's
just engaging in this peaceful thing, and bam, we'll get you anywhere, man.
Yep. And,
It's evil. It's literally evil. I believe there's evil in this world, and
Yeah,
God is
I know.
an act of evil.
for sure, it's funny. I don't know if Vinny and I talked about this the other day on the show, or if we did it on the practice show.
No, you talked about the Route 61 or whatever that was called, Las Vegas.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Because did I ask him about, like, dude, when you get on a stage, do you worry? And he's like,
He said, absolutely.
immediately.
Yeah, he said all autographs. That's what I'm doing. I'm always watching people's hands and
Watching their hands in their pockets. And he's like, no doubt about it. I know where the exits are. Ali Prudhomme said the same thing.
First thing he does is, how do I get out?
How do I get out? What is my plan of its action? Like, how awful. Over the weekend, Fran came by, my friend, longtime friend Fran, and she brought her husband, Jason Krause, who you would know from Twisted Brown Trucker, guitarist. And I was talking to him about Vinny's thing, and I showed him that video, and he's like, wow, that's amazing. He wanted to check out the studio and stuff. So we're talking about, and I asked him the same thing. I'm like, dude, he wouldn't even let me finish the sentence. Every fucking night I go on a stage. Every single night. He said, the guy that shot up the Route 91 in Vegas, he said that guy cased 5 venues planning for that. One of them was Fenway Park when we played with Jason Aldean. We had a big show at Fenway, and he was there and cased. That was one of the joints. He said, our security protocol now is so different from what it used to be. We have double security. Kid Rock has his own separate security personally. And he said, every show we go to, every stadium, every arena we play, he said, there's a meeting before we go out there about if this happens in the crowd, if this happens, someone jumps on stage. He said, dude, it's awful. When a kid jumps on stage, it crosses your mind like,
Yeah,
this
right.
motherfucker going to pull a
Back
knife
in the
or
day,
gun?
you'd never think that.
No,
you
they
know?
jump on stage, fucking dive into the crowd. He's like, there is special tape, like whatever venue we're at, anywhere. He said, they walk us all through the protocol. So it's glow in the dark fucking arrows showing you exactly which route to go to get out. He's like, it's totally different than it used to be. And I was like, yeah, and we were talking about Dimebag, Daryl, gunned down on stage. Guy jumped on stage and shot him. He's like, dude, I talked to Dimebag the day before that. Their next stop on the tour was Detroit, and Dime and I were getting together to jam and hang out. And he said, I was just frozen. The next day, he gets fucking murdered on stage. He's like, so you can't not think about that stuff. You just don't know in this world we're in. Who would expect, entertainment like that for kids, concerts and whatnot? Or, Ariana Grande still bothers me so much because it's like,
Yeah, Manchester, England, right? The
and
bombs.
you know that anybody there is going to be some fucking dorky mom and dad with their 12-year-old daughter.
Exactly.
It's like you are purposely going out to murder children, And, I love this too. There's all these watchdog groups online that are keeping track and monitoring social media and these things that like ISIS and these terror groups. And ISIS, of course, is celebrating, just like they did. What was the one they were celebrating?
Notre Dame, they threw up threw some shade on that, righty?
Yeah, that
Totally.
poster.
And so they're celebrating like crazy, high-fiving, because of Easter Sunday, obviously one of the biggest, if not the biggest, Christian religious holidays
It is
of
the
all.
biggest officially.
It is bigger than all the presents we get at Christmas. Dude, that's huge.
bigger than
I mean,
Christmas.
we get candy at Easter, sure, but take the presents all fucking day. Well, to each their own. No group has claimed official responsibility for that. ISIS fanatics were praising the attacks as revenge for the Christchurch mosque shootings. Oh, fuck you. No. And here's the difference. You fucking assholes that are all the ISIS, whatever. You know, whenever a mosque bombing happens, of course there's evil all over. There's assholes everywhere. Nobody is partying and high-fiving on the news the next day.
That's a stark difference, isn't it?
Yeah, these guys are like, yes. And I'm sorry, the Christchurch shooting that happened 2 weeks ago or whatever it was, this was planned. You don't get 9 bombs going off in these places. This was planned months in advance. So you don't get to piggyback, oh, yeah, it's just payback for the Christchurch.
Yeah, good point. And the Christchurch guy was a single, just, off
Yeah.
the wall, lone wolf, apparently white supremacist asshole.
Sure. And where was that? New Zealand?
Yeah.
Yeah. And they say that the evidence is pointing towards a group called National Tawhid, Thowheed, Jamaat, NTJ. They're a radical group, and they've been posting rampantly about the blast and praying, may Allah accept the suicide bombers. If your fucking guy is praising the just willy-nilly bombing and murder of strangers, I don't want to go to your room. I don't want to go to that place. No. You know, if their guy's like, no, that's fucking dope, dude. The way you blew up all those innocent people, come on in. Pearly gates, wide open for you. I'd be like, you know what? I'm going to pass.
Not a god I want to worship.
No. Yeah, so they were ISIS was branding this revenge invasion for payback also of the loss of their territory in Syria. Kicked them all out of Syria.
That too. And that too.
We're going to get you. We're just going to go sneak into a place and bomb it. Super talented as we are. So yeah, and all we knew before this radical Muslim group NTJ, they've got no history of mass fatal attacks, but they came to prominence last year when they started to ramp things up. They were doing like vandalism and stuff.
They certainly ramped it up.
Yeah, desecration of Buddhist statues. Say like smash a statue and then like spray paint Jesus sucks or something on a wall. And so that's really what their game was. And now, they've turned it up a notch. So I don't know, man. But yeah, if people can't see the difference in celebration of, these bombings and attacks versus, some random dick face going into a mosque.
Gross.
Yep.
In better news, the NFL draft is happening this week, Mike.
NTL, I love it.
Twin Peaks, they are on the clock. Catch all of the NFL draft action at the Ultimate Sports Lodge. Round 1 kicks off April 25th at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard. Did you know that? 8 p.m. on Thursday, man. That's awesome.
Hosted by?
Nashville?
Shut up, Robin.
What?
Shut up, Robin.
Robin is...
Robin Roberts.
Why?
Because she's black, female, lesbian. I mean, a little bit of a sports background.
Okay.
That one doesn't bother me as much because she was not bad on ESPN, like when she was hosting Sports Center and shit back in the day.
Oh, that's right. That's where she came from.
Yeah.
I forgot all about that.
I think she was a basketball player maybe in
Yeah,
college.
that makes sense.
Yeah. But then she got cancer and turned into whatever the fuck she is now. It's just like
Modern day Oprah, sort of.
Yeah, but poor, bad version of it,
Poor man's Oprah.
Yeah. So I'm excited for that.
Yeah, that's cool. Isis and I were laughing before the show, though, all these mock drafts going around. We resolved that there might not be a bigger waste of time than tracking mock NFL drafts in the weeks prior.
Yeah.
Right?
For sure.
Well,
It's one thing if you want to look at the draft once it's done or watch it and analyze it and think about it. I get that if you're a big fan. But, dude, like beforehand, maybe you want to breeze through and just go, what are the Lions' needs or what's your team's needs? But
Yeah.
these fucking drafts, they happen every day. Mock draft 4.0, 5.0, whatever.
And they're scrolling on the screen no matter what you're watching. We've
incredible.
got Mike Mayock's mock draft.
Yeah.
We've got fucking so-and-so's mock draft. And it's like, none of you fuckers know.
No.
You have no idea. And none of us know if any of these guys are going to pan
Right.
out at all. We've seen number 1 overall draft picks fucking suck dick.
It's the
So,
ultimate in unknowns on
Yeah.
so many levels.
Bill Burr's got a spectacular bit on this where he's like, if you are one of those people that's watching the fucking draft on draft day, you need to just die. Like, what are you doing?
I disagree with him there.
He-
To me,
no,
it's the lead up, dude, but the fucking draft, I get it. I get why people would be excited, especially in a town like Detroit.
He's like, you're going to sit there and watch this. First off, you don't know what any of these guys are going to do, and they're going to give the same shit interview. Oh, yeah, it's a blessing to be here. I
true.
want to thank
That's true.
the leaders on the team, and thank Jesus and stuff, and say the same thing that the 80 guys before him said exactly.
Yeah, but here it's like
But-
Sean Baligian always says, right? It's like it's Detroit's Super Bowl.
Yeah,
it really
that's
is.
true.
It's
It
the
is Detroit's
closest.
Super Bowl.
It's the closest you get, and so
Yeah.
it's this day of hope, or these 3 days of hope.
Well, and the other thing he says is, what the fuck are you doing, man? Go do something tomorrow. Tomorrow morning it's all going to be the paper. Exactly who went. You can look at all of it.
Yeah.
And I'll watch it. I watch it every year, but I'm kidding myself any kid who goes to play football after high school is going to have a pretty dope highlight reel.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like, yeah, young stud linebacker out of Florida, and they got 10 plays of him just like crushing someone. It's like, it doesn't really tell you anything.
No, it doesn't.
really doesn't. So
Nor does the 40 time without pads. That always bothers me.
Yeah.
Like, why are they running this 40 without? Everybody should put pads on and do those whole workouts. I don't understand why that.
The whole thing, because you see guys, what was it Steve Entman? Remember him years ago for
yeah.
the Colts?
Yes,
and like,
absolutely.
Is he the one that blew way up the list because he fucking jumped really high and hit the sticks?
Maybe.
And then he ran a really fast 40 without pads on.
Steve Entman, was he out of Washington?
Maybe.
And then he did go to the Colts. I remember that.
Yeah. And then he was really, really good without pads on it, doing that thing where you zigzag and go around the cones.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he was really fucking good at that. And so, yeah, they were, I'm the number one. I immediately jumps up the draft board. Show me what he does on the football field, man.
Yeah,
Football,
really.
it's just different. Speaking of football, the Lions, they're talking about drafting a quarterback as a backup to Matt Stafford. And I wonder if anywhere in their thoughts, the stuff with Matt going on right now with Kelly.
Brain surgery.
Yeah. Is like, because they're like, hey, give him some time off. We told him he doesn't. Does Matt Stafford need to really be in pre-camp, drills and shit? Like, why? Why does Matt's 11 years in the league?
No, I don't think you want him there, right?
I wouldn't.
Bubble wrap him up and put him in the
Yeah.
corner.
Who are some of those guys that did that? Like, I think it was Strahan. It's like, yeah, deal with it. I'm not coming to camp or preseason. I'll see you on fucking opening weekend. I've played enough years in this league. I know what I'm doing. I'm not dinging my body up,
Right.
and So, but
So
yeah,
you're saying get somebody ready just in case his wife is in worse shape than thought, and he might be taking time off.
well, they gave him time off to deal with the family stuff, and it
She's
sounds
home from the hospital now.
Yeah, she did that big post on Instagram, and I saw people taking issue. She was like, "Thank you for all the thoughts and prayer." Like anyone who prayed for her, she felt it, and she knows that was the helping thing, and for praying for the doctors to have knowledge of this thing, and she gave a lot of fucking, credit to people's prayers from all over the world, and never thanked the surgeons. And it was like, oh boy.
I'm sure she personally thanked them.
I would hope, I would think, but I don't know. I wasn't there. And people are like, oh, thanks for God giving him the strength and the science to know how to do this. It's like, just thank the fucking doctor that did it.
Yeah.
You know what though, dude? Who the fuck cares? Let her think whoever fuck she. This social
I didn't say me.
I know.
I said the thing I'm noticing online. A lot of people are going, well, a lot of thanks for the
Yeah, the
prayers.
thing I'm noticing
Not
online is that
much-
people are idiots. That's what I'm
They
noticing.
are.
I
They
mean,
are.
Who gives a fuck? Who are you to comment on any of this? She's doing a nice thing. She puts a thank you. I'm sorry. Maybe, you know what it is? I'm just so sick of the negative bullshit.
This
on social
Easter is the
media.
beginning of new life for me. I want to take a second to thank all of you for all the prayers. They have worked. I know they have.
Something
Let's
about
see.
a vein, right? She had an abnormal
Well,
vein.
it was
and-
supposed to be like a 6-hour surgery.
Yeah, but the surgeon that was doing her surgery, apparently had great knowledge of this abnormality in the vein, right?
Yes. Let's see here. So they discovered this abnormal vein. Maybe abnormal for other neurosurgeons, but not for the one we chose. He had seen it before and written a paper on it. That's God's work. People are like,
See, it sounds to me like he
okay.
didn't want to be mentioned or something. If she doesn't mention, like, hey, Surgeon Smith was great.
But I thought he was in the paper. I thought maybe not. You might be right. I know they had there's a picture of like her mom, Matt, her in the chair. I was, did they not have to shave her head?
It's
Or
probably
just in the back or
yeah.
something? Because
Yeah.
the photo was straight on. I'm like, oh, her hair looks normal. That's crazy.
Okay.
The prayers for my family, I'm beyond thankful for. A 6-hour surgery went 12, and although they were anxious and scared, your prayers got them through. Not their years of experience, Your prayers.
You know, Mike, there is a huge sliver of the population that believe in the power of prayer.
I know.
Who have religion in their lives. So
I don't have an issue. I'm just bringing it to the forefront that this is something that I notice people complaining about. I'm just presenting the story.
But again,
that's
that's
all
the
I'm
thing.
doing.
Noticing that people complain, you post to anything and people complain. These
That's
fucking
true.
losers need
Oh,
to get.
this guy only gave me $1 million, which is fucking bullshit, bro. Why not 2? I know. It'll take some time. I just wanted to say thank you. Thank you for all your support, thoughts, and prayers. It means more than you'll ever know. And so, yeah, apparently she was teaching her girls like ballet. As the story goes, like twirls and shit. She was probably a ballet girl herself and cheerleader, obviously. And she starts getting dizzy.
Yeah.
It's like this shit I was able to do my whole life is now like she's getting vertigo.
Dude, I wonder if I've got something going on because I'm telling you, dude, the last couple of years, we've talked about it many times on
You're
this. I
seizing.
can't even, I'm ready to seize at any moment. You turn me around twice, dude, and
You're done.
I might fall
You know how
over.
to take him out, Mike. Now that's what we got to do.
I know.
spin me.
We need to just have like a
Take my
disco
chair and
ball.
just spin
Yeah,
me.
spin
or
it twice.
oh,
We're
Oh,
good.
dude.
If we
Disco
put a
ball.
disco ball in here with a strobe on one end of it, we could ruin your life, right?
You could end me quick.
So she gets. I hate reading these stories because if I have something, right, I got a fucking lump here that's hurting. Go to the doctor and they're like, test came back negative. See you, dick face. I'm gone.
Yeah.
That thing could act up and hurt for 10 more years. I'd be like, nah, they did the test. Everything's normal. And then you read these stories, it's like everything came back normal, and it's like, it's still not normal.
I know.
She goes back after several more spills. The Lions team doctor, I might have some issues with that as well, but the Lions team doctor recommended, why don't you get an MRI on the head and see rule everything out? And that's when they find this knot. And I read that and I was like, huh. The Lions team doctor, he works for the Lions players. I get
Well, you don't know what extent that was. They could have just been. Matt could
I
have just
get
been,
that.
No. You're such a weird person sometimes.
But I didn't know that extended to
Running the MRI on company time.
Well,
huh?
yeah,
just
exactly.
suggested.
It's exactly what I'm saying, Jay.
He just
well.
For
Oh,
what?
did you bring? Because what if they run out of MRI options or chance? Like,
Film.
Film.
If they run out of
They've
film.
only got so many MRIs they can give. What if they get to the last one? They don't know it,
Mike,
And before they
Mike.
can fill that back up, it's like, oh fuck! I wish we had that one MRI back that we gave to Kelly all willy nilly.
Well, for one, he said I would suggest you get an MRI. So it meant I take that as he said, dude, you might want to think about going to your doctor and getting an MRI.
Yeah, did he personally give her the MRI?
didn't say that in
Did
that-
she get an MRI on Lions team equipment? Let's get to the bottom of this.
Can you imagine?
Someone
Stafford's cut.
objected to that.
This guy's
Yeah.
fired, and Stafford's on a 6-game suspension
Man,
for using
rules are
company
rules,
equipment.
man.
They come down extra hard on him to send a message.
That's right.
I don't care who you are in this
Nobody's
franchise,
above the
son.
law.
Nobody. Stafford, you're done for 6 games, and you, doctor, fucking waste of cash. Get the fuck out of here. So he recommended that she get an MRI. It doesn't say, and I'll do it for you.
No,
or
it doesn't.
yeah.
Good point, It's good listening skills.
Well, a few days later, we were hit with the results. I had a tumor sitting on some of my cranial nerves. So she was terrified. Obviously, you can imagine, she's worried about losing her hearing,
Sure.
facial function. We've seen that whole thing, where it's like half
Yeah,
your face
we've seen
droops
that, yeah.
down like that.
Terrible.
And that stinks. Could you imagine if we were doing a show like this now?
It's not the end of the world, but it stinks.
It stinks. Like if both of us, for whatever reason,
God.
caught a bug, and all of a sudden we both had facial.
Bell's palsy kicked in out
Yeah.
of nowhere.
We both got a touch of the bells overnight.
That would suck for our
Yeah.
listeners, too.
Everybody, you're going to have to hang with us. We both lost some facial function over the summer. And,
We're going to plow forward, though.
the content will be exactly the same. We will not be making jokes about any sort of palsy going forward. As you can see, you're rather sensitive now.
Maybe we'll lean on E to carry us a little bit more.
Mike, why don't
Yeah.
you do your Asian voice and with your palsy voice?
Yes, really good. It could have touched the bear's palsy. Student G. Yeah, it's not as good.
Not.
Can you
Might
imagine
be better.
the scenario where we both catch Bell's palsy
we
in the
both
summer?
had those weird liver spots together. But mine went away. Yours didn't. Weird.
Yeah, was yours Africa or is mine Africa?
Yours is Africa. Mine was more South America.
Yeah, that's right. So anyway, she wants us to pray for Matthew. So Isis, you can pray for Matthew, and you can imagine his nerves would be extremely high. I can totally understand that. I can't imagine being in that waiting room. And to be like
my
6
God.
hours, you're sitting out there 9 hours later, like, what the fuck,
Yeah.
bro?
Well, I reckon they came out and talked to him.
You think so?
Yeah, gave him a little update.
Yeah, if I was doing that, I would just like carry a football under my arm, be like, "You got a few minutes, Matt?" and just start throwing the rock with him. Be like, "Look, here's what we're dealing with. I got to get back in there in a minute, but just want to explain." Because, dude, why wouldn't you? He can't say no,
Right.
Right? Most average dudes don't get to toss the rock with Stafford.
In the Henry Ford hallway.
Yeah, take him deep. Go deep, man. Just saying.
Hey, everybody, check out the Detroit Cast listener business page. It's a page under the Help the Show tab on our website, DetroitCast.com. The page includes businesses owned by listeners, so take a look. It'd be great for you to support fellow listeners who support our show. Today's featured listing is The Blind Biz. They specialize in all types of custom blinds, shades, and shutters, just like the ones behind Mike there. Beautiful
Absolutely.
blinds. Free in-home consultations and free installation. They serve all of Metro Detroit.
So, were you guys excited, shocked, as most people were? Was it Thursday? The Wings dropped at like 5 in the morning. Yeah, press conference
Yeah,
at
it
3
was
o'clock.
awesome, man.
It was pretty cool, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You see Mac out there in all the videos.
I didn't. I watched the
Yeah,
whole
yeah.
press conference, but I did not see
You'd
Matt.
see him walking by his
Yeah.
big old head going past the camera. Yeah, he did some. I think he did some Facebook videos too while out there. I don't know. I haven't talked to him, so I don't know if he talked to Stevie or what. But this will either be the greatest thing the Wings franchise has done in a long, long time,
Or
or
an Alan Trammell.
yeah,
Dude, don't you just feel like it's going to be great, though? Don't you
I
just feel that
hope
way?
so.
Given his track record.
that's-
If he hadn't been at Tampa Bay and had the success there, you'd be like, fuck. You'd be really worried.
Yeah.
Like, oh, no, you don't want to taint Stevie's legacy. But this is going to be great.
Yeah.
I'm just sure of it, Mike.
I know, I am too. And all I read online, like comments on different stories, people are fired up. They love this move. They really wanted Stevie back home. He never sold his house in Detroit. So, he sounds really thrilled to come back. And just the character, it was kind of eye-opening when we watched the Russian 5 movie and the Probert one, where even as a young guy on this team, he's just a kid, barely 21, and he's the guy that's standing up for Proby and not shitting on him and just kind of classier
Yeah.
than most, kind of stays above it. And if you talk to guys that really know Stevie, he is not Stevie is in no way the kind of aw shucks kind of puss that you think of, like he doesn't talk much and he doesn't, no. Stevie sends messages his own way, and Max said, dude, you do not want to get into an argument with Steve Yzerman. It's like arguing with a fucking ninja with a samurai sword. He'll cut you in half and you won't even know you were hit with a blade. He said he's vicious. And which is cool to hear. You want to know that a guy like that is leading the charge. But, I look at Ken Holland, and I'll admittedly I haven't watched a shitload of hockey since the good old days. I watched some here and there. But Kenny Holland was like revered in this town.
Yeah, but that was
GM
before the
from-
salary cap, He had
Yeah.
great success, obviously. What did he come in, 96, 97? And then through 2005, there was no salary cap.
Yeah.
Salary cap goes into effect. I believe it went into effect 2005. And then it's like,
Yeah,
you know,
see what they can really do
yeah.
when the field is leveled.
You just feel like it was just perfect timing for this.
Yeah.
And Holland's ready to the fans were done with Holland for the most part. They're frustrated by it. This bought the organization 5 more years, really.
Oh, yeah.
People were starting to chirp, and a couple years from now, if you're not in the playoffs, it would have been getting ugly.
It feels
But you
like
bring in
it's more than a
Stevie.
couple of years that they've been pounding, especially on Holland. Like Holland is like, when I read shit about, it's like, get the fuck out of
What
here.
I'm suggesting is like 2 more years, and you're talking about like people really not going and shit.
Yeah.
If they're not showing progress, but this is like, yes, it's hope and change, man.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, you got a good 5. You just bought 5 years of people being totally cool with it.
And Stevie's playing this right. He's going, look, we've got a good core here. He mentions Anthony Ciu and Larkin and a couple other guys.
Mantha, he's not
Mantha, yeah.
throwing his. He's
Bertuzzi.
not throwing out that card though. He's like, yeah, this is going to take time.
He's saying patience.
Yeah, why-
luck is involved. All that. Like, this is going to come through the draft. We've got this good core of young players that will help us get there. Now, if we draft properly and things work out with a little bit of luck, and it sounds like that, obviously that's his only goal is to win the cup. And, you can just tell in the way he talks that this is all he gives a shit about, is bringing that cup tradition, winning tradition to Detroit. He loves the city. He knows the city, the fans, the organization.
it's just awesome.
Yeah, it's very cool. And I think it was like Christmas morning. When they dropped that
Well, I think
news
that-
at 5 a.m, and it's like,
Didn't you
what?
you knew it was coming though, right? It was just a matter
It
of time.
seemed like it, but I don't know. I just felt like it was something that was it still going to be one of these things that we were just gonna get blue balled on or some
Yeah,
shit.
'cause
Was it really gonna happen?
We talked
Was-
about like the Rangers were
Yeah.
in play a couple
Yeah.
weeks ago, and is that just blowing smoke? Is that
Yeah.
just trying to raise the price or what? But you kind of felt it, right?
But how many years does this how many years does Stevie get without you
no,
kind
I'm
of
suggesting
mentioned?
5. I think.
Yeah.
I think he gets 5 free years.
But see, we're year 3 now without making the playoffs after what 23
But that doesn't
years?
matter.
No, I know, but there's already 3 years of frustration.
Yeah, but you start.
Nah, but
the
that
clock
frustra-
goes back, man. The clock
Yes.
goes back to 0
Starts
now.
at
and
0?
Yes, and you get 5 years.
Yes.
Okay, we'll see. If in 3 years this team's going backwards in any way, I think you guys are wrong. I think
Well,
this
mean,
town
there
can
has-
turn on someone quick.
There has to still be building. It can't be. If you're saying 3 years and now they're like they look even worse, that's one thing. But if there's any
Well,
level of progress,
Can
any
you imagine the town turning on Steve Yzerman? The shit that would have to go down for them to turn on Steve Yzerman?
I can.
He will be given every benefit of the doubt. If shit goes awry, he's going to be given. It won't be put on him. It'll be people make excuses for him. He's the most beloved dude ever in this
For
town.
sure, for sure.
Trammell wasn't in that same situation. Trammell was beloved.
Yeah.
But Tiger fans are not like Wings fans, man.
Yeah. Well,
and he only
I
won
see.
one.
I can
Cyber-
remember.
Okay.
I can remember, Jay, because you remember what it was like when the Wings were winning a lot of games and losing in the playoffs. And every year it was like, get fucking Yzerman
I know,
out of
but
here.
he hadn't won
Trade
yet.
Yzerman.
He hadn't won yet.
I know, but it was
now
like,
he's Stevie. Now he's the captain
No,
who's won.
I know. You weren't even born then. Shut up. You don't remember. It was bad on sports talk
Sure.
radio, dude, every day.
I'd have been fine.
I don't
with it.
think
Stevie's got to go. I know. I bet you would have. I wasn't so much in favor of that. I just think it's unfair when it's like, dude, he's the leader of your team by a mile. Would you fucking
I
relax?
always want teams to trade their biggest players.
You wanted Barry Sanders
I
gone,
wanted him gone so quick.
Cabrera,
Trade Barry for a
Verlander.
secondary. That was my mantra.
for what?
Trade Barry for a secondary.
Yeah, yeah,
Don't get me started,
dude. And
Can't
Barry
win with Barry. You can't win with Barry.
No, you can't win with Barry. And Barry, that's a hard one because we all saw the great plays. It was undeniable, his skill, everything. Lots of guys think
Drive killer.
best running back ever, and I can understand why. But there was nothing more frustrating than having -2 yards in the third
Drive
quarter.
killer.
Killer. And it sounds dickish to say, but he could have -3 yards in the third quarter and then have 2 big runs and rack up 120 yards for the game.
But there's an
like,
inability to keep a drive alive.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't
Is
get
there
me
anyone
started.
you wanted less getting the ball in his hands on 3rd and inches?
Oh,
4th and
they
inches.
take him out on the goal line.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's crazy. So anyway, hearing Stevie though, what I did as a player is done. I can't do any more, good or bad. That's irrelevant. It really has no bearing on whether I'm a good GM or not. I have a job to do. I'm not afraid. I don't want to fail. I'm going to do everything I can to do a good job. I enjoy doing this, and I believe in the process. I believe in this organization
Yes.
and ownership.
They're
and
going
I-
to win a guinea.
I know.
believe in the people that are here. I believe we're going to be successful. I hope we win a Stanley Cup. We're going to win a Stanley Cup. To be able to come back, I'm honored. It's important that I do a really, really good job, and I intend to do that. Fuck yes. Welcome back, 19.
So E, you're with me. If he
Yeah.
hadn't gone to Tampa and done what he did,
Yeah.
you'd be pretty nervous
That's
right
the
now.
big thing
I would
for
be,
sure.
dude. I'd be nervous.
But you know what?
right
Reading
oh,
that.
you mean the way he went there and didn't win a cup? Is that
Dude.
Oh, you mean he had a
Put
team up 3 games to 2 in the finals, and
Well, I'm
that's
just saying, no,
dude.
win or lose, you know.
No, he had that's not in that fucking team, man. 3 games to 2 in the
He am
finals.
fucking with you. Relax.
I know you are.
I know. He did really well. 8 years. Was he 5 or 8 years?
I don't know.
It was either
I
5 or
thought 6, but okay.
I bet East Life it was either 5 or 8. I
Okay.
just can't remember exactly.
Could be right.
But yeah, I mean, took him to the Cup finals and didn't win it, but whatever.
The team got swept out this year.
What are you gonna
One of the
do?
biggest upsets in NHL playoff history.
Sure.
Hey, if you suffered a traumatic accident or injury, don't call the billboard or TV attorneys. You need a proven, experienced legal advocate who supports your interests from beginning to end. Your first call should be to Ogden Legal Triage. With one call, Ogden Legal Triage will find you the right personal injury attorney for your case at no cost to you. With more than 20 years' experience, Ogden takes the worry and the legwork out of your search. Go to firstcalldetroit.com and let Ogden Legal Triage save you time, money, and hassle. Besides, who better to help you find an attorney but an attorney? Ogden Legal Triage at firstcalldetroit.com.
2010 is when he,
So is it 8 years or 5 years?
I guess.
8 years.
8 years. Okay.
He went to the Tampa in 2010?
Yeah.
All right. Miguel Cabrera. See him in the papers?
Yeah.
Yeah, boy.
I didn't. What's up?
Well, he's for 5 years he led that double life where he was banging that chick down in Florida, and like sending her on like trips to see him around, around the baseball, cities wherever he was playing. Knocked out a couple kids with her, kept that from his wife completely. And so he's got his family with his kids back home, and then he's in Florida. He's got his mistress and a couple kids there.
What are you doing, Miggy? I get the mistress thing, but the kids?
Yeah.
It's like
Two
I said
sets of kids?
It's like I said that one time. Remember I was talking about that basketball player that knocked up 2 Instagram models at the same time?
Yeah.
It's like, dude, bang 100 chicks, but have freaking plan Bs with you and have freaking,
Yeah, it's called pulling out, man.
dude, whatever.
Pull
do
out.
something. Just don't bake
crazy.
kids with them.
So reckless.
Yeah, like
so short-sighted.
Bang a million.
like,
I don't care.
Ari Shafir says, don't besmirch the good name of pulling out. Pulling out has been successful in stopping pregnancy for thousands of years.
Seriously.
What doesn't prevent it as well is barely pulling out.
Yeah. Got to go full on.
Full on pull out. If you don't have to touch it before it goes off, you've done it wrong. So yeah, there's a judge that's ordered him to provide for those kids down in Florida, and give them the same opportunities and lifestyle enjoyed by the children from his marriage. Isn't that pretty much usually how it goes? Like they don't want a Tiger Woods, and then his these kids' mom has $100,000 home, and they're eating
Right.
like
No, they get set
Kroger
up
brand mac
typically.
and cheese.
Yeah, their
It's like-
monthly alimony, right? What is this monthly alimony? It's probably in there, right?
I think he was giving her $10,000 a month, and they've upped that a lot. But they don't want, what they don't want is kids to go, I don't want to go to mom's. Her house sucks.
yeah.
We don't have video games there. We don't have, And so this has been a sticking point. This 18 months has been going on, this legal fest in this Florida court. So Belkis Rodriguez, the chick's name, called a gold
Pretty
digger.
name. Belkis?
Yeah. Belkis Rodriguez. She sued him over child support starting back in 2017. He only makes $30 million a year though.
God.
So
That dude makes $30 million a year.
I know. That's why you wanted him gone. You can get a lot for $30 million a year.
Yeah.
So he used to fly her and the children all over the country to see his games and whatnot. He disagrees, obviously, with the judge's ruling. Court finds that the party's children should have the same opportunities as the opportunities that the father provides for the 3 other kids that he and his wife share. Judge Alan Apt wrote in a ruling concluding his child support will be based on multiple factors.
Seems apt.
Yes. The needs of the children, the father's ability to pay, and Cabrera's good fortune. That's the one that gets me like, what are kids worth? What does old man's good fortune have to do? But
Well, isn't part of the calculation, though, that she's helped him toward that good fortune, right?
no, yeah, but no.
know?
She did not do that.
But, yeah.
Any more than Tiger's wife helped him to his good fortune. Court finds this to be a good fortune case and the children's right to benefit from his good fortune. So he ordered Cabrera to pay both allocated and unallocated child support. So that means she can buy anything she wants. It's not like you have to buy diapers and
Right.
food and put them in this school. He's got to do that too. But then she gets a wad of cash. She's able to just buy whatever. So here's what the judge ordered Cabrera to do: pay her $20,000 a month in unallocated child support, so she can spend it as she sees fit. In addition to the $20,000 a month, he's to pay allocated child support for specific expenditures such as private schooling, healthcare, extracurricular activities, and prescriptions. When these expenses occur, the mom will send a bill to Cabrera. She's just sending him receipts. And he's just like, fucking bitch. Couldn't get a fucking generic prescription, really?
What a deal, huh?
Yeah. He's got to pay off the mortgage of her nearly $1 million house by July 1st. Provide the children unblocked annual passes to Walt Disney World, Universal Studios, SeaWorld, and Orlando Science Center.
Badass, man.
Maintain a $5 million life insurance policy to benefit both children until they turn 18. Pay Rodriguez $89,581 in unpaid child support by May 1st. Pay her attorney fees of $51,206. So yeah, an appeal is likely, they say. And what she wanted, she was arguing that given his $30 million salary annually, that equals $2.5 million a month. So she's entitled to $100,000 a month under Florida's child support guidelines. Cabrera's lawyer says she's just pissed off because he wouldn't leave his fucking wife. And following the birth of the second child, the mom became increasingly incensed by the father's refusal to leave his wife for her. The mom would regularly threaten Cabrera to expose their relationship and kids to his wife and the media. Bitch. and file a paternity suit wherein she could seek millions from him. Out of fear, he caved. It was just, but the more he gave, the greater the mother's financial demands increased. Cabrera's lawyer has portrayed Rodriguez as a gold digger.
Quote unquote.
Yes, they do have gold digger in quotes, who was trying to extort alimony from him, even though they were never married. I think, I don't know what she did, if she was a waitress somewhere, made 30 grand a year. I don't know, before she got, fat bellied because of Cabrera. She's entitled to some money for that. I get it. But when you're talking about, 100 grand a month, and here's what the concession I was willing to make.
100 grand a month.
100 grand a month. That's what she wants. That's only fair.
She was
because
a perfect.
I'm hot and I fucked a pro athlete. My reward, gimme. I want 100 grand a month. And I would say this is fair, Jay. Tell me what you think. We put her on a major league roster. She plays every day. She plays 162 games in a baseball season?
Yes.
Not counting the postseason. Let's assume she doesn't make the postseason. She gets to bat every third inning or so if things are going normal. If she can get one base hit, one dribbler up the middle, she's entitled to $100,000 a month. Is that fair? She's in the
thought of it that
lineup
way.
every fucking night. Just a DH. I don't want her to
Baseball
field.
money, yeah. So it does seem only fair that she earn her baseball money.
Yeah, she's earned this. Fine, prove it that you've earned this money. 100
See
grand a
that
month.
little lady out there in her little red dress.
She'd be better off putting a blindfold on and have someone in the on-deck circle going, swing,
Yeah.
swing now, and just hack like a piñata.
No.
Think about your old days in Mexico. It's a piñata, si, senora. Whew. If she can get one dribbler, one guy to drop a fucking ball, I don't
That'd be
care.
your
Just
standard?
It can't be an error, obviously. But if she can leg out a bunt, fine, 100 grand a month.
No way she could pull that off.
Do you think Cabrera would take that deal?
Yeah.
Risk
Hell
everything.
yes. Hell yes.
He'd be a moron not
Yeah.
to. He should offer that counter.
Yeah.
She gets one dribbler up the middle, one slow roller up the line that they can't get to in time.
Lay it out on a single bullet-pointed page, just with all the conditions.
Cabrera gets to give you 10 grand a month as he was doing for till those kids are 18,
My
or
offer is simple.
100 grand a month going forward. He'll pay off all the other bullshit too. One. If she wants to rip a single over the,
Seems excessive. You get why he ought to be taking care of his kids, but
Yeah.
boy, does that seem excessive.
yeah.
When you're just allowing it to be spent on whatever, that's crazy.
Yeah, and who needs? I know, dude. Most families make do on 3-4 grand a month. The idea that it's not obnoxious because his dad's worth all this money every year. He's one of the most elite ball players to ever play the game. You deserve $100,000 a month because you're hot and you fucked him, unprotected sex with him, and
Is
not.
she hot?
Well, he found her hot
Jumping to
enough. I mean,
conclusions?
I don't know. She looked all right to me.
Okay.
yeah, well, she's hot in that she thinks she's hot and she's dressing to be like appealing to a ball player. Right?
Gotcha.
That's what it looked like to me. A tight dress, titties kind of
Right,
hanging out.
right. I mean, yeah,
I mean, that's someone going, yeah, anyone rich want to fuck me?
yeah, exactly.
Don't you kind of see that?
I'm available. Yep.
I suck
Screams
dicks.
it. Yep.
Pick a hole. It's pick a hole night. She's up for anything.
No, I think she'd prefer the vagine
I'm sure she would.
because that's where the money is.
Yeah, but to keep it coming back, you
Yeah.
just offer up some random, hey, pick a hole night, one of the, once a month or something. I think that helps. Guys don't like playing the same golf course every week, right? You can ever eat something there, Jay?
Yeah, I mean, with this great boon she has coming, maybe she's looking for a financial advisor like our friend Mark Leibovitz. Your investment plan should be created just for you. However, developing and maintaining a financial plan can be a bit of a balancing act. Mark Leibovitz at LPL Financial can deliver the guidance needed to develop a well-balanced investment plan. Call today and tell him you're a friend of the show for a no-cost, no-obligation consultation. Call 248-626-2000 and ask for Mark.
Securities and advisory services offered through LPL Financial, a registered investment advisor. Member FINRA SIPC.
What do you think would Mark say? Like if she got one lazy infield ball that hit the base wrong at second and kicked right, and they give her a single, and now she's getting 100 G's a month, do you think Mark would be like, bitch, give me $85,000 of that every month, and I'll turn it into a fortune for you? If you can't live off 15 grand a month,
Yeah, really.
I don't want to handle your money, okay? It means you're irresponsible as shit. You got lucky once with that fake hit you got. Don't be stupid with your money.
You'd be doing all right if you could put away 85 grand a month.
Can you imagine? Just the Flyers. Have you seen this controversy? The Yankees and the Flyers.
Controversy, yeah, with the singer.
Yeah,
What's
God
her
Bless
name again?
America. Kate Smith.
Yes.
Yeah. I know, you know,
Doesn't that sound like a more contemporary name than the person we're talking about? Kate Smith.
Absolutely.
Somebody said, "Hey, did you hear about Kate Smith?" And I'm thinking like, Kate Smith. How do I know Kate Smith? I'm going through all like these swimsuit
Yeah.
models and stuff
Sure,
in my
sure.
Rolodex in my head, trying to think of who this is. No, it's that old lady who used to sing "God Bless America"
yes. And you just don't think of anyone born in like 1918
being called Kate.
Kate Smith, you know? So, she's the one, like, if you've been to a Yankees game, I guess ever since 9/11, during the seventh inning stretch, they play her version of God Bless America, which was not written by her, but it was written for her. She performed it. Everyone thinks of it as like the end all be all of God Bless America versions. And also the Flyers, the Philadelphia Flyers play it before every game.
I think she used to sing it there. Like
She did.
personally. In
Did
person.
you see their record when she actually like
It's great, right?
games that it because she wasn't always there. She died in like 87 or 97, something like that. But when she was there, they had her sing before like the Stanley Cup playoffs in 74, 79, whatever year they went and won it all. And their record, I think, was 101 and 30 and 5.
Wow.
In games.
Get her back.
Yeah. And so now they're like, throw it away. None of that matters. She's done. They actually threw a towel or a blanket over the statue they had of
saw
her
that.
outside the Spectrum.
Yeah.
She's gross. I don't blame him for that. I didn't like her hairstyle at all. A hairstyle that was only like used then. I don't know what was going on in the black and white era. But that wavy wave thing,
Yeah.
you know,
I
short.
can picture it.
Yeah, I don't know what that is, but yeah, they're saying, you know, the NHL principle, hockey is for everyone, is at the heart of everything Flyers stand for. Their president Paul Holmgren said.
Look at her all covered up, bungee cords,
Yeah.
around a blanket.
You ungrateful motherfuckers! You want to kick because of me.
What a weird time we live in, man.
It's so weird. So the Yankees did this first. They've removed the song from their catalog and their library, following, or the Flyers have, following something similar that happened with the Yankees. They suspended use of her recordings during the seventh inning stretch amid conflicting claims about several of her songs, including a 1939 number entitled "That's Why the Darkies Were Born,"
Yeah.
which does seem,
Unfortunate and awful.
yeah, I feel like I don't need to hear it to know, like, that's going to be.
The theme just jumps out at you. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why the Darkies were born is. It's like, you know what? You're going to have to fucking. That's going to come back to bite you in 60, 70 years, you know? The tune originated in 1931. Broadway review George White's Scandals. It was considered satire at the time, which is kind of the important part of the story. You know, if that's what. There was a black guy that sang it too.
Right.
That's what, you know, and so if it's kind of mocking and stuff. You don't really know. No one even knew this existed. The only reason now is they've come to they've got on their soapbox. Yeah, well, this is not about our standards.
Look what I found. Look what I found. Let's ruin someone.
Yeah,
Look.
she's dead as shit.
I have
Can't defend
virtue.
it.
Look at me. I have virtue. Give me thumbs up.
Yeah, the NHL, who's had like what 2 black players in their history. You know, hockey's for everyone,
the Wings
except
have a
poor black
African-American
kids.
player
I
in
know
it.
they're starting to come in there.
Okay.
But it's just the idea of like, I don't know if you have ever heard this or heard of it ever. Now the whole world's gonna know that this piece of shit was a racist, maybe, or was satirical, written this way specifically. She also did a song on pickaninnies to orphan black kids in an orphanage that they think might have been helping them more than it was the song or something like that. I don't know. No one fucking knows.
Yeah.
It's forever ago. And, you know, so she went on to sing the song at the Spectrum on 4 occasions, including Game 6 of the 74 Cup Finals. A year after her death in 86, the team erected the statue. A fan was spotted out there saying, "God bless Kate Smith and Happy Easter," in a covered-up statue thing. So, yeah, Smith was given the Presidential Medal of Freedom by Ronald Reagan in 82. I guess Teddy Roosevelt liked her a lot as well. You know, it's another one of those things like, okay, are we reinventing history? Now we're trying to erase history, you know, we're in a way. It's taking statues down or, you know, ripping these people down when telling you, man, that's a double-edged sword. Shit we're doing right now is going to be a big problem in 50 years, 100 years. I really believe that.
I guess this isn't like the greatest example of that to me, though. Like the Civil War statues are the best example of that. But this woman, like, she's not really a a historical figure. Like, I get why you'd just be like, yeah, get rid of her.
Yeah.
Let's assume like those were just flat out racist songs, and the context was she was trying to be racist, and she's a piece of shit back
Right.
then, and now she's singing "God Bless America." Yeah, you don't want her. Okay, fine, remove her. That's fine.
Yeah.
But it's not like she's, fucking Robert E. Lee or something where, no, he really happened in history. He was a
Yeah.
relevant figure. So at least, like, you might want to keep that statue somewhere, like put it in a museum or something, at least to just talk about what actually happened in history.
Yeah.
Not try to erase it and make it different. But this chick, like, come or go, whatever.
Fair enough. It's a good point. But where do you stop? That's the question that we always have.
Well,
We talked about this. It's
Yeah.
like Washington, our state capital is named after Washington, who had a plantation and shit. Like, where do you stop the thing where it's like, do we change it to, whatever, the street? That's the name of the, we don't have Washington Avenue anymore. It's just the street.
Yeah.
Because that doesn't offend anybody. Or do we learn from it? Germany's actually done a really good job of that. They had a lot to make up for with the whole Nazi thing, those shenanigans that were going on back in the 40s. Those guys got out of line. They got way out of line. And so now, it's like plaques on the fucking cement outside of places where Jews were killed. It's like, here lived, the Brahamovitzes or whatever. They were so-and-so, mom, wife, 3 kids, acknowledging that racist past and trying to make up for whatever. Long way to go. We'll let you know when you're done.
But at the same time, like, do you want to celebrate this woman, who, if that really was her character and that's who she was, and you've learned now, wow, she was a piece of shit. Like, why celebrate her with a statue? She's not a fucking important person in the historical contest. It's sitting outside a fucking stadium. Who cares? She sang a song.
Yeah.
We've now discovered she was a racist ass singer. Ditch the statue. Whatever. I got no problem with that.
Well, I know what you're saying. I think she did in some of her other music in Pickaninny Heaven, for instance. Pickaninny is the racist term for a black child. And so she was saying to black children in her orphanage, she tells the children to dream of great big watermelons. Yeah, that's not going to go over well. She also appears in a comic promoting the Mammy archetype, apparently as an advertisement for her cookbook. You could say at least she's singing to orphans and she respects this woman's cookbook, but there seems to be no getting around the lyrics of "That's Why Darkies Were Born." Do you have the song there, E? Can we give an example? And if you can't tell, go about 1:15 into the song, okay? Let's see. Let's see, what was she singing? Someone had to pick the cotton, someone had to pick the corn, someone had to slave and be able to sing. That's why the darkies were born. Let's hear it. I don't know.
Cotton, someone had a plant a corn.
Oh, it's awful.
Yeah.
Someone had to slave and be able to sing. That's why
the
donkeys
donkeys
were
were
born.
I don't like her voice.
Someone had to laugh at trouble, though he was tired and worn. Had to be contented with any old thing.
That's why darkies were born.
Why donkeys were born.
I think her runs are too shrill.
I don't like it.
She's vamping too much in there. I just don't, I'm not crazy about it. Then, it seems like is that the only music that they had at the time?
You're right about her hair too.
It's god awful.
It's awful.
I mean,
That
she's
crimping.
Yes, the statue should be ripped down because of that hairstyle. Right. I mean, honestly, I know what you're saying. I was reading this piece of someone who's saying, it's an op-ed in one of the Washington papers. They're like, look, slow down your Kate Smith condemnations, Yankees and Flyers. In reevaluating her place in American life, people shouldn't rush to judgment. We're allowed to look back on history. We're not allowed to rewrite it. And I agree with that. Just because I worry about where it goes further when it's like, what,
That's an awful. Come
Yeah.
on, man. The guy who did Lucille Ball did this one.
yeah,
That's an
Beckham's guy did
awful
this
statue.
too.
She's
Well-
broad, huh? Look at those shoulders. Wow.
Yeah, she had some
Linebacker.
titties though. Look at that.
Yeah, kind of hot.
There's some full titties, right? If I tried to go betwixt those, I wouldn't pop out the top. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Boy, oh boy. I thought you couldn't get worse than the real thing, but man, the statue did
not
it.
good.
Yeah. Terrible. So, anyway, I just don't like the idea of changing any of that shit. I don't.
Yeah, but
I don't.
this again, it's not marking like a historical moment. It's celebrating a person. If you've determined this person that we're celebrating, oh, we didn't know this is a piece of shit, then
Yeah, but I think the
No
fact
problem.
is you can't really say you don't know. We didn't even know about this, so we're looking at it now, going, "Oh my God, she said this thing." But if it's like a black guy saying the same lyrics,
yeah, no, that
it is-
definitely has to be determined. I'm not
Right.
ready to just broom her if it's not like in the context that we discussed.
And that's like going, taking Tom Brokaw, 2 Negroes last night on, there's audio of those guys saying Negroes and coloreds on the news because that was a different time. It was a more accepted term. And so it is what it is, but you don't destroy that guy's career and take him off
No,
fucking
but maybe you don't
honoring
throw
him.
throw a statue up for him.
Yeah. What if in 100 years it's like, oh, we did this all fucking wrong. We were never supposed to eat meat. It's murder. We've been murdering
That could very well be,
animals.
by the way.
And it's like now every one of us is a fucking load and a
All
piece of
statues
shit.
done. Every
Dude.
single statue gone.
When my statue goes up, so help me, if they rip it down 100 years from now because, oh, we weren't supposed to eat meat, dude,
Sucks.
that's bullshit. That's bullshit. I'm telling you right now, I
Danger.
didn't know.
It's the danger of being bestatued.
I didn't know. I didn't fucking know I wasn't supposed to say tranny, point and laugh. I didn't know. It's fully accept saying faggot in 1991 was like, I think you could say it on the news. I think you could. I didn't mean anything by it. It's
know
like,
you could say
what
that on
up,
the news."
fags? It's a term of endearment back then. Now we've learned. Just leave it all alone. Damn it. Teach them
Yeah,
all.
that's
That's
a
how we
wrap, too.
learn. No, I understand what you're saying, though. She's not, it's not marking the end of a battle or whatever. So whatever. Do we have any email?
We do have some email. Before we get to email, though,
What you got?
I'd like to engage in the short reading of correspondence.
Mm.
This is the Wolfie letter I referenced last week. It came sealed with wax, the wax seal that Wolfie provides.
Might save it from the rest of the atrocities that are this letter.
In all of his mailed correspondence, he always waxes it and stamps W.
It's awesome.
Bonjour, lovers. And we talked about the font. It's ridiculous.
Inexcusable.
I almost hope that he was dictating this to his administrative assistant.
His 12-year-old daughter.
I would hope so.
Yeah. I actually asked Jay, does he have hearts dotting his eyes?
I picture him walking, kind of pacing across a
Sure.
study while he's doing this.
With a piperage?
With a pipe,
Yeah.
yes. Picture
Yeah.
that as I read this.
Fire raging in the background.
And his secretary is just taking down in shorthand. Bonjour, lovers. Etard was telling tale again of his tiny cock scabbing up, and he was worried that the scab would plug up his pee hole. Well, back when I was 15 or 16, when every young man pulls on his dick at least twice a day, I noticed some skin on my shaft was beginning to peel. I figured it was dry skin and no big deal. Over the course of the next 3 days, the skin on my shaft had all peeled off, leaving behind an extremely red and tender meat. I wonder if it was like a snake, the skin comes
Oh,
off like
wow. Scaly?
Then, to my horror, the skin on the head of my cock began this process. This was the worst. Of course, I didn't have the patience to allow it to fall off on its own, so I tugged and picked at it, causing healthy skin to tear away and bleed. The scabbing and tender skin took 2 weeks to subside. As I mentioned before, I have no patience, so, of course, I jacked off during the healing process. It was both very painful and counterproductive to the process. But when you're that age, you can't help but beat off. It never happened again, so I assume I had just irritated the skin, by pulling my dick too often. Anyway, have a great day. Kisses, hugs, Wolfie. Dude, Jesus is looking at me with
Oh, no,
disdain.
no,
I
not
can't
disdain.
believe this happened.
No, I don't know what to think about it.
You know how when you work outdoors, you're doing construction, lifting concrete, you'll get calluses that build up. You play the guitar enough and your fingertips will callus over.
Yep.
Why doesn't the dick shaft callus over?
That's a great question.
I mean, what is the deal with that? If you jack it too much, it should
Maybe
just
that's what
callus
was
up over
happening,
time.
man. His skin was like...
No, he was ripping the skin
molting.
off.
He was
Yeah.
molting.
But it was like, you would think that he would just have like a leather tough cock sleeve,
Yeah.
From all the beat. I mean, we've heard about Wolfie's unique jack
Sweet
off.
spot.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why he went to the sweet spot, because of the sensitivity of the rest of it.
I thought he said it was just because he didn't want the boys in the barracks to see him jack.
Oh, that's right. That's what led to that.
He just quietly, they were all doing this move. Where they
He would
just,
go thumb and forefinger, the sweet spot. It's right under the head,
if circed.
and he would just kind of thumb and forefinger it like you're playing a little mini violin.
Yeah.
Just back and forth, back and forth. Then I've tried this. This does nothing.
Yeah.
This does zero.
But if you were in a barrack no woman for miles
Yeah, it's
for
been like
months
4
on
weeks.
end.
Yeah.
You might be able to, play the tiniest violin ever and get that thing to fire across the room. I don't know, but
Is this any comment about the
Not really.
peeled meat?
I don't know what I would.
The sheath?
I've never
such a
heard
different
of
situ-
such a thing.
That's
That
such
is-
a different situation. I guess the only thing
bizarre.
I would say is I'm shocked about is the masturbating. I know, like, our situation was not the same, but I did not jerk off for a while because of that.
Because of the burned dick
Oh,
and
yeah.
skin coming back. Yeah, you held off.
Sure, I didn't want to, but
He
I
kept
could just
going,
tell that
though,
it would
yeah.
hurt.
Yeah.
It would hurt if I got an erection.
Yeah,
I don't get it,
Wolfie.
man. See, I never jerked off as a kid, though.
Wolfie
so
says
that never.
He says, I
never
have
happened.
no patience, so of course I jacked off during the healing process. It was both very painful and counterproductive to the process. Yeah, probably prolonged it by a month.
Oh, I'm
'cause
sure that
what
semen
if he was
getting all
putting
over
something on his dick or something, you know?
That's semen.
Like, what would
Well, I mean,
make
if you
it-
got a scab and he's getting semen.
No, I know.
Yeah,
But that would hurt while you're doing it.
I can't believe that it wouldn't.
He would,
Oh, God. Just a raw panoose.
Yeah.
All right, on to Post.
love of
Well,
fuck.
I'm glad
I
we
mean,
settled
gee,
that, Wolfie,
yeah.
for you. On to Post. The Legend of the Seahorse. This is interesting, Mike. This comes
What
to
is
us.
your fascination with the seahorse? It's not the first time we've
Listen
heard
to
about
me.
the seahorse.
The Legend of the Seahorse, photo by Rindy Nyberg, and this is from NFL Bob and Pam Patty from Florida Panhandle. The seahorse is an amazing animal. And the seahorse is one of these animals.
It's a weird one, man.
Look, I think as a kid, you kind of get inundated with animals. Animals are a big thing to you. You're
were
like
your
cars and
household.
firefighters and animals, and you
Yeah.
kind of that's your universe of things. And so you become dismissive of kind of the coolness of animals like the seahorse or the giraffe or the
Fair.
platypus, you know what I mean? And then as an adult, it hits you like, fuck, man, that thing's amazing. Listen to the seahorse, dude. Even among the many strange creatures of the ocean, the seahorse is one of nature's more unusual fish. It has a head shaped like a tiny horse, as we know,
Yep.
a body covered with rigid, bony plates, and snake-like tail that is used to grasp seaweed and coral. The seahorse might also be mistaken
Plankton?
for a small plankton, as a small dragon from a child's fairy tale. Oh,
Yep.
it might.
See it?
Seahorses are commonly seen on coral reefs in the warm coasted waters of Florida, where they eat plankton and the eggs of other fish.
Yeah.
Cocksuckers.
I
huh?
knew plankton was happening with that fucking Cubert looking nose he's got.
Yeah.
That's for plankton eating,
Hubert.
isn't it? Yeah.
That's a great call. They range in size from 6 to 12 inches, don't we all?
But it's 6 to 12, so it's like come from the ground up, somewhere in there. Yeah.
But listen to this. This is an amazing skill. They swim upright with the aid of a single dorsal fin. But listen to this. They come in a wide variety of colors.
Wait, what? Like
Yeah.
The good coming?
The female seahorse places her eggs in the male's kangaroo-like pouch. Did you know that?
Fuck, no, I didn't.
Did you know that they even had that? Where
have
they are
joeys?
fertilized, they're fertilized in the pouch of the male and are born after a gestation period of 4 to 6 weeks. These wondrous, and I do mean wondrous, tiny creatures live for 4 years.
They do?
That's
Wait,
amazing, man.
Yeah.
This world's freaking amazing.
so are they called joeys if they're in the pouch?
The babies?
Yeah.
Oh, like a kangaroo?
Yeah, isn't that what they call baby
That is
kangaroos,
what they
the
call
joey?
it.
So wait a minute. You're telling me that they're usually 6 to 12 inches big? Don't they have wee little tiny ones?
Oh, yeah, there's some tiny ones.
I thought,
definitely.
didn't you bring some home for the kids or something? You were trying to make your own.
No, those are brine shrimp. Well, sea monkeys, sorry.
Oh, okay.
They range in size from 6 to 12 inches, swim upright. So maybe they're talking about the ones most commonly found in Florida.
Yeah. So what is the point to that bottom thing? Like you can't roll on that tail. You
No,
can't
he
use it to-
hangs on it. You weren't listening.
No, I was,
He hangs
but
on to coral.
I feel like he should have wheels or something so he can roll along the bottom of the ocean.
That's the crazy thing, right? You feel like they should have something on their sides.
Yeah, no arms,
they
no
look like they'd be
legs.
so out of control the way they're shaped.
Yeah, I mean, an upside down like question mark.
Yeah, it's a goddamn question mark.
It's a-
That's all it is.
See, shouldn't if that thing was on like if it had a spoke or a whatever bar going through it, so it could independently roll
An
like
axle.
a unicycle, an axle.
Create an axle with
Yes,
its
if you had an axle,
tail. Right. How does it propel itself forward is your question.
Yes.
I know. It's the dorsal fin. But
Yeah.
you wouldn't think that'd be enough.
Now the other guy had much spikier. I don't know if he's wearing something or what. Much spikier. Like if you stepped on him, would that be like you motherfucker?
I don't know if they have I don't know if they use that as a defense
Boy,
mechanism.
oh boy, that is very horse-like. His head.
Yeah. But I'm telling you, just take a look at some of these animals that you've just dismissed since being a kid.
Yeah.
They really are amazing things. Now,
Yeah, that's remarkable right there. Like who even thought of that?
I know.
Like we need these. Really?
I know.
Really? We need these? Yeah.
absolutely.
We do. Dude, trust me on this one.
They eat something and something eats them.
You know, it reminds me of like bands that are just amazing you've never heard of. You know what I mean? Like that guy deserves more play
I
in the
agree.
world discussion.
I totally agree with you.
You know?
Thank you, Bob, for the post, the compelling post.
Yeah.
That's just gripped our imagination. If you want to write into the show, send us your thoughts to email at DetroitCast.com, or you could post or correspond in by sending something not anthrax to P.O. Box 250268, Franklin, Michigan 48025. Bagels writes in, I'm writing you this day to comment on episode number 1263 and inform you, Mike, that you can, in fact, purchase police-grade front fenders. I have a tale to go with it, he says. Back in my junior year in high school, a bunch of my buddies got together to get into some mischief. The 8 of us had 2 vehicles for the transportation of teenagers, toilet paper, eggs, shaving cream, and plastic wrap. Doesn't seem like a big deal.
No, not really.
I was driving my car in the front. One of my friends was driving his car directly following me, and almost all of us were intoxicated in some fashion.
Yeah, it was a wet back then.
Notice how I said almost. As we crossed over Pierce Street on Lincoln, I saw the blues flashing behind us. I then continued driving while my friend took the heat. Come to find out later that when the cop was handing him his bullshit speeding ticket, my friend asked the officer in a mild weed-induced state if it was legal to have one of those sweet police fenders installed on his car. The cop looked at him, chuckled,
Fenders?
said, yeah.
Dude.
Said yes. I would argue, though, that the most astounding aspect of the story that nobody in my friend's car got charged with DUI or MIP. Good day, lads. Well,
Yeah.
today, as we know, that would be different, right?
Oh, absolutely. They just didn't care that much back then. It's like, slow it down, boys. Get on home, you knuckleheads. Give you a little noogie. Get on home.
Although that's the concern of the people who were anti-weed, right? That the roadside sobriety just wouldn't work, and so
Oh, yeah.
there's plenty of dudes driving around with maybe a less than optimal
Hell yeah.
optimal speed and agility.
Sure. Plus, they don't know, like, how, like, weed will stay in your system for 30 days.
Right.
You know, they just don't know. Like,
can't
are you
just
high
blood
now?
test you.
Or is it in you from an hour ago and you're high as balls or what? Yeah, that's a tough one.
Speaking of driving, Nate writes in concerning a bad driver story. Pay attention, Easus. Good evening, gents and Big E. I thought I would share a quick bad driver story with you. This event happened on Tuesday, April 16th, 2019, approximately 5:20 p.m. As I traveled home from work after picking up my eldest life burden from school. Made a turn onto one of the main and busiest thoroughfares in my community. So I accelerated toward the posted speed limit. I was quickly retarded by a vehicle whose speed maxed out at 15 mphs. Under the posted speed limit, 20. So he was going 20 in a 35, this retarded driver.
Yep.
And was just barely staying within the designated eastbound lane of travel. The only choice I had was to start putting on the pressure.
Sure.
But as I approached, the driver made a turn into a location redacted. I'll read it. Commerce Library. But not before I was able to read the Huey Lewis bumper sticker on the back bumper.
Oh, no.
My instincts were correct. As I finally passed the vehicle, I saw
Jesus.
Biggie wearing a lovely safety yellow shirt. And this is the key. Listen here. He's just texting into his phone.
What?
I
Isis?
don't know.
Do you recall this?
I don't remember it, but
Because it's so commonplace for you that this doesn't sound out of the ordinary?
I don't know what he's talking about.
It could have
so
happened, though.
I suppose.
Wow. E.
Yeah.
Wow.
Do you have Huey Lewis on the bumper or is it Rat?
It's Huey Lewis.
It is. Okay,
Yeah,
I
Rat
thought
fell
so.
off years ago. I thought he was done with this unsafe behavior of texting. Jerry was right. He needs to be better trained. Please issue the offender one formal demerit to be placed in his personnel file. Threaten a meeting with local officials. Thanks. I really love the
I don't
direction
believe
you've
for
taken.
a second that I would be going 15 in a whatever he's talking about, though.
You were
Well,
going
it'd be worse if you're going
20 and a
faster.
35.
20 to 35.
15 below.
No way.
We should have
Even
you
though,
talk to...
even though everything's he's describing apparently is true, but I don't believe that I would ever go
Well,
that.
E, you have not you have not heeded the advice from Jay and I. I think it's time to take it up a notch, and I think we should bring Terazat over here.
Yeah.
Who is, I don't know,
Has a
board member of the,
Little story about texting and driving.
Yep.
You see how he tried to change the subject there
No,
about
I didn't try to
going
change
20?
anything.
I would
No,
never
the
go 20.
subject could be changed. That
Jesus,
wasn't me.
The
so.
issue is the texting. That is the issue
trying to
here.
say that it wasn't
not
me
the
is what I'm
20
trying
and
to
the
say.
35.
Do you know how remarkable that would be? He says, wow, maybe it wasn't me. We get it. You've got a shitload of doppelgangers out there. We've seen dozens of
Exactly,
examples.
exactly.
But a highlighter yellow shirt you're wearing all the time.
Huey Lewis on
Black
the bumper sticker.
Huey Lewis on the
Nobody
bumper.
has Huey Lewis on their bumper sticker. In
That
Metro Detroit.
library that we know E loves going
Yeah,
to,
Commerce Library.
Commerce Library, E, this is damning.
People could lie all they want. I mean, in reality.
Are you
anyone
calling
could
Nate a
Like,
liar?
anyone could
Yeah.
just make up
Nate?
a story.
Nate?
I could.
Jay, in your professional opinion, how long would the jury be out deliberating if those were the known facts of this case? 4 minutes?
Well, you know we wouldn't
could
put
make
our
every one of those-
lying
but the thing
guilty
is-
defendant on the
But he
stand.
could make every one of those facts up based on everything he knows about me on this show.
Well,
Depends on
I
how
imagine
credibly he tells those facts.
I guess it does.
Sounds like he can do a pretty good job in writing.
my Exhibit A is going
Wanted
to
to
be
be
to get
proof
all
of
the
it.
camera footage from the area, the library's parking lot, and just find out if a sneech like dipshit went waltzing into the library in a highlighter yellow shirt.
I'm going to go back to April 16th, 2019 at 5:20 p.m. and check his texts. That's what I'm going to do.
What day? Oh, there you go. April 16th. What-
Tuesday. A Tuesday.
Jesus, let's see. Tuesday, did we have anyone doing
trying to
something
remember
here?
what I was doing Tuesday.
Oh,
honestly.
that was the day Dave Coulier's wife came by, and you skedaddled about 4:30.
Headed on
quarter
out to the
5.
library, if I do recall.
Yep.
I don't know.
Oh yeah, that's about exact. Because
trying
she
to
was
think of what I was doing on
she was
Tuesday.
coming over at 5, and she.
I can tell by his reaction that he was
I don't-
probably doing it. Are you,
Oh,
are
no.
you sorry for doing it, E?
Is anyone sorry? I mean, I don't know. I make mistakes sometimes. I've cut
That's
out
all we
mo-
want is for you to be
I've cut out
sorry and
mo-
try to do better.
I've cut out most of it,
Do
but I do.
better.
I've cut out most of it, but I still once in a while do look at it.
It's got to be 0, man. It's got to be 0. Can you promise us going forward it's going to be 0?
I can't
it's-
promise that.
Come on, man. It's very dangerous. Do you agree that it's incredibly
Of course it
dangerous?
is, but
people
I-
die.
Okay, I know, but I'm just saying I'm not perfect. I fucking once in a while maybe I look at my fucking. I'm not getting in this again.
Well, hold on.
No, this
Checking
bullshit.
your text string to Jesus.
There's a very, very strong possibility that at that time of the day I would have been texting one. So Tuesday was the 16th. You're saying?
Tuesday, the 16th, April 16th.
All right, let's check these. 34 a.m. Tuesday.
5:20 p.m. Tuesday,
So
April
at-
16th.
At 6:08. So this would have put him out of the house.
Okay, you know what? I don't know, man.
6:08. I got a text from. I got an email. I never responded to that. I'm sorry. I got an email about an interview with a rock band coming to town. I was unsure, so I forwarded it to you to see what you think.
When was that at?
E, that's so
That's at
important while you're driving.
6:08.
That
No,
can't
that was
wait.
at Tuesday at 6:08. I don't know that he was on the road, but it puts him out of the house.
Sure.
At 6:08 for sure. He's
Oh, I
going.
believe Nate. I had already believed Nate that he
Well,
was
what a
out of the
shock,
house.
so.
Now I'll have to go back and see if there wasn't a three-way text between the three of us. Could very well could have been coming in at 5:30.
That's a good point.
Yeah. So anyway, the evidence is looking more and more damning by the second.
I'm not even gonna do this. So
We'll save the rest for tomorrow.
I don't blame you for wanting to duck out of that conversation.
I'm not ducking out of anything. I'm just not fucking.
So would I schedule a meeting? Jay and I will schedule a meeting with Terazat, and she can run down some of the facts and see if we can't help
it's,
you.
it's the equivalent of drunk driving, which you
Run down the facts
which
of
you do a
drinking
great
is-
job. Jesus, you do a great job of not drinking and driving. You're big time religious on that. You call Uber, etc. You can't do this, man. You can't be checking your phone.
Yep. What he said.
Come on, E, promise us you won't do
Yeah,
it.
he's mad at you.
I'm not promising anything.
Wow.
I'm not promising I won't
Look,
kill an innocent person.
He put his foot down on this years ago, Jay, and hopefully the lesson has not
Continues.
been learned. So anyway, wow, this room got cold as shit. But we've run late. We should get on out of here.
Save the rest for tomorrow.
Yeah, sounds good. We'll be back tomorrow. Thanks everybody for hanging today. Coming off the holiday weekend, and boy, did we just drop into summer full blown. What is it, 80 out there today?
Lovely.
Get out there for the rest of this gorgeous day, E.
Sure.
You can run and text. Just don't drive.
Okay.
All right, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow.
You've been listening to the Detroit Cast with your hosts, Mike and Jay. From all of us at Radio for One Studios, thank you for listening. And as always, thank you, Detroit.